Hello. Hi, so I'm doing a video here because we've just had a really crazy week of this full moon. Yeah, what do we say? Well, I've been talking a lot with patients and friends and colleagues about how to explain everything. And actually, I feel myself getting a little bit bored with words, so to speak. So it really is about feeling at the minute. Now, some of us, the pressure is on. You know, the pressure actually since COVID, since a long time, pressure and time is actually changing outside in the atmosphere. I've been looking into this for a long time about moon, the distance of the moon moving away from the Earth. The moon for me is the Earth's trauma. Just make space for my tea. And so if we have this figure of 8 for where you have physics, the pressure is feeling higher. Okay, so if you have a bottle of water and you push it, it comes spurting out the top. So this is literally what's happening to us right now. And a spiritual awakening, so spirit energy, for me to explain what we're all going through, is a spiritual awakening. So I have experienced mine a while ago. And my understanding of this, now I have a degree in medicine, in frequency, and that was, when did I get that? 10 years ago. So, and I've also been studying on top of that trauma and awakening. So awakening is when we ourselves decide to share with us the emotions that they've been storing and holding for a long time. Now, from my research in history, there was a trauma on the earth thousands and thousands of years ago, beyond Egyptian times. And so we are now having an awakening on the earth and this present time. So there is light, there is hope, but we have a big mess to get through first, which is right where we're at right now. And there's a lot of manipulation and gaslighting going on. So my opinion is, so there's two sets of people now, this divide of this COVID and the vaccines, etc. So yes, people have died and experienced COVID, and I myself am one of those. So yes, COVID does exist. I would call it a different name. So for me, spiritual awakening is existing, where we are all purging our trauma, our emotions that have been stored in our body for a very long time. They're coming up to the surface. Okay, this causes detoxing symptoms, similar to cold symptoms. COVID symptoms. They are more extreme now because the physics of the earth has changed, and we are at a brink where she has to survive. The earth is also we say she because in physics some planets are male and some are female, like a plus and minus battery, if you look into this. And I've done much research because I had to survive a deep trauma I had, and this is why. So where are we at now? Yeah, so the pressure is coming. So is COVID true and COVID not? This is what I'm talking about, the divine. So yes, it is true, but in my eyes, it is not being treated correctly. And so there are lies and manipulation going on, which is why we've got these two extremes going on. Now, the divide, anything that is meant to divide, erase, something's up. This is the bit where we're all going, something is going up here. Okay, so this is truth. Okay, our body knows the truth. Our soul always knows the truth, and our body never lies. So it will come up. So the symptoms we are getting, especially after these big waves, and there's been a massive wave this week. I don't know, I'm laughing because I'm aware of these waves coming up and I know a lot how to deal with them. It still affects me. I'm still on my own awakening now speaking. There's star seeds, there's other galaxies, there's other species, there's all of this. This is all truth. This is coming through. And this is the light. To be honest, this is the hope and the light. But right where we are now, so a lot of psychic abilities, a lot of us are connecting to spirits and voices and hearing different things. But Also, what we need to be really, really, really careful of now is what is happening with COVID and the body, which is from the neck down. This is the emotional body. Everything happens in these 12 organs, okay? Everything is these patterns of 12 and numbers, 3, 6, 9, and continuation. So 12 organs, they all hold a certain type of frequency. And when we hold different traumas in our body, they hold, and they haven't been able to be experienced, so they are stored. So they've experienced fight and flight, which means they haven't been able to be processed, which means they're stored. Now, at this time, there's no more storage. We're full. Okay, the trauma bank, the liver is full. All right, if you look around you, so the earth is a body, is a female body. She has the elements, fire, water, metal, earth, wood. And you will notice that nature is falling apart. So the trees are breaking. Okay, this is her wood element. The liver is full, which is the storage of toxins and trauma. Now, the vaccine, in my opinion, is a dose of toxin to the body. I'm not going to get too much into these different arguments, okay, because I'm trying to keep the peace and keep us together with my videos, if that makes sense, because the anger and divide causes more toxins and more separation, which is not what the earth needs or what we need. So going back to toxins, so the vaccine, minus the conversation of wrong, right, blah, 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 the reaction that the body will have from a vaccine is an input of a toxin it doesn't recognize. This goes straight to the adrenals, the cortisol, the stress body, and the liver. Now, the liver is the filter in the body. So we have a Hoover or a washing machine. We have to clean this filter. This filter has not been processed for centuries. All right. So before, in Egyptian times, way before centuries, they used to live this life. So 12 months, we should live like nature. This is the story of the 12 and disciples, and back, lots of stories of 12. We should be living in the cycle of 12. And we should be processing these emotions every 12 months. So then we have an enjoyable experience on earth, and we understand that we have these experiences to learn from. But right now we're at a brink where we're stored in our soul body. The earth had a massive trauma to her, and we are cells in her body. And now she is deciding to heal, which means purge. This is why Corona has been predicted. Okay, 2020 is 22 chromosome. Human race, 22 chromosome to 23, male, female. This is why it's being predicted. This is why now is what's happening. This is why they can call it COVID, because they knew it was going to happen. There's bigger powers that be. It doesn't matter who they is. All we need to know is how to heal and purge the body, which is what I had to find out when I passed from remembering my trauma of PTSD. So I passed over to the other side. I died to an extent. Yes, I died because I know I went to the other side and I spoke with angels, and they gave me a choice whether I stay and I come back and I have a worse childhood and understand the message of my childhood. Now, I had abuse in my childhood. So obviously at the time I was like, no. What do I have to do? What do I have to do? I can't do that again. So they told me that I have to come back down, but I have to go through the pain. I have to heal the pain, and I have to learn how to heal the pain. This was it in the heart. This was this pain that I wanted to die, which is what people are feeling now. This is why I'm doing this video. It's hard for me to talk about my stuff, but I've got to a stage where I can from my healing. And I know that this is a calling and a purpose, and I asked for this. I asked to come to earth, apparently now I've been told. And I asked for that childhood, so then I would understand. I've been doing healing for 8 years. It happened to me at 35, I'm 42. So I can help people with the techniques I've been using to purge the body. So now my body is at high frequency, so I can avoid these low frequencies viruses. And I know how to keep safe from spiritual attacks. Spiritualness, we are all spiritual beings. We should be aware that there are other species, not be afraid of the other species, or just be aware, because there is light and dark. We need light and dark because this is yin and yang. But we need to have the boundaries. The line has to be clear and it has to be safe. Okay, but when we're in full power, we're connected, we have our soul parts that have been fractured from trauma in other dimensions and realms. We get them back, which is what I can do. And we heal and we use medicines. Liver flushes actually gets physical stones out of the liver, which is a bit like getting your filter and really cleaning it out. Okay, so then it can actually function like it should do. Remember, it should be cleaned every 12 months. And we have not been cleaning this since Egyptian times. So I've studied all of this in the last 8 years, the ancient history, the history. Why were these civilizations very clever? Because they hadn't received the trauma. The trauma happened then, and it closed us off. Third eye, this is why the pineal gland is in the kings of the valleys. I've been there, and they have DNA. That I deciphered the symbols because I had a past life there, and I knew. So that is what the images were trying to tell us, what had happened in the tombs, that it cut off the eye, the use of the pineal eye, so we can see, feel. We have so many other senses without language. Okay, so we cannot be manipulated. This is what's going to come. When we heal and purge the body, we'll all become see-through. We can see, we can feel, we can trust. Beauty of this is there'll be able to be abuse and manipulation and gaslighting, etc., which is heaven on earth, which is what's trying to happen. But right now there is another side. Doesn't really matter. We don't need to worry or be angry. The anger that we may feel toward what the hell is going on only produces more toxins in our body. So when we're at low frequency. Okay, so it's actually just being aware and having understanding of what the hell is going on and the truth. And the only way we can understand this is going inside, using these tools and medicines to go inside and connect up to source and connect down to Mother Earth. Whether we like it or not, these waves of corona, which is the earth waving, which is much bigger than they're going to tell you, is going to keep going. My estimate is to 2030, because we've got the 10 years at the 22 chromosome, 23rd. So we've got that here. So this is going to keep going. Okay, so we have choices to heal and purge, and to heal truly. And it's quite hard, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I went through this because I kept getting very, very ill every time I walked out the door. And I had no support system. Every system, NHS, law, education, failed me very badly. And I couldn't die. I was told I couldn't die. So what did I do? I was guided. Now I have spirit guides, and I researched veterans. I researched history, how to heal, soul retrievals. I did NLP. I have obviously got my acupuncture degree, and I studied. I went in and I did these medicines. So this is how I know this stuff. And now I can feel. I don't need my eyes. I can feel. I can sense. I send healing at distances. And I'm here to help people purge this trauma. This is a trauma awakening, and actually when we go through and relive the trauma we have experienced, we can then let go. And we don't let go through conversation, we have to feel it. So when I go in and I ask, what layer of my trauma am ready to heal from what is happening in my reality, because it's a mirror of frequency. So whatever's causing me problems in my life now, this is a repeat of something that's happened to me in my past. And we are all doing this together right now. All right, so we're creating all this because we're healing. And until it gets worse, to this brink, to this point, this is the pyramid, to the point of break, we have to surrender into the pain and remember these painful experiences. And then we all set ourselves free. Okay, and then earth can be, we can live safely. This is this word safe. But the whole point is where I'm trying to not get into a sort of an argument, but because anger and confrontation, there's a lot going on right there now. But what I'm saying is this: I am questioning, and I have my medical degree, wearing a mask and a vaccine, because when you breathe, I've been doing breath work and I studied cancer. and cells of cancer way before this. And activation of a virus cancer cell, for example, activates through lack of oxygen. So even without a mask, we struggle because we were forced to live a very stressful artificial life to earn money for certain. Which means we don't breathe into our 12 organs. Now, this was even before COVID, in my opinion. This is what I've been doing to help keep people safe before COVID. So wearing a mask, and also wearing the mask, there's been no expression, no self-expression. And children have been born seeing this, no self-expression. You wouldn't even recognize who I am, and then suddenly look who I am. So this is identity, to do with our identity and our self-expression. If we can't express ourselves truly, I feel pain, I feel shit, I feel depressed, I feel grief, I feel sadness, I feel lost, I feel anger, I feel pain. None of this is being able to be expressed properly. It's all stored in our body, and now we're being out. COVID has not stopped. I tell you that now. It's rife. Now, what happens is we've gone into the yang. There's 6 months period, and I guarantee more lockdown, and it happens on the turn of the yin and the yang. So it's Easter and Halloween. All right, so you go from the summer, the yang energy. So now the COVID energy, which is actually in the atmosphere, okay, any virus, bacteria, parasite entity is in the energy atmosphere, and it has a host, has life, has us. And when we are healthy, in a healthy position with good frequency and connected to us, it has no power. But we do need each other to live. So there's no fear. But the trouble is now we're fractured already from trauma. The soul is fractured. The light is fractured. It's in different dimensions and realms. So this darkness can come in and it manipulates. And you can have arguments with people. And I thought you said this, and I thought you said that. And no, but I did this. Why is everything so busy? Why is everything so confusing? I love you. I hate you. This is the power of the manipulation and gaslighting and dark. I studied manipulation and gaslighting because I was losing my marbles 8-9 years ago. From a relationship, from my past, my abuse, from the education system wasn't making sense. The law system didn't make any sense. Oh, what the hell's going on? I studied and I studied and I studied. And I see this now. I see this happening everywhere. And it concerns me now, the hot weather and drinking, because this is how you get entity space. And I clear entities. How do I explain entities? I don't want to talk about them because I don't want to scare people, because they're not to be scared, but you have to be light in frequency to command off my body, please. You do not belong. I invite you. They have no cell. Look at the science of a host and a virus cell. Okay, so they can only come in your body if you let them. And if your immune system is low, which means you're not connected to source, and which means you have got fractured parts of your soul from trauma. It's the beauty of healing your trauma. You work with someone like myself, and you bring back the soul parts. So your soul is whole, as whole as can be. I'm still working on mine. There's still parts, pieces of the pie. And the vaccine, what's happening with the vaccine is, separately, in my opinion, it just really gives trauma onto the nervous system, which means we're more disconnected, not necessarily to source, because our lines of source are opening. So this ascension process is going on still, so we're very connected. But the trouble is, of even the connection to source can be manipulated if we're not light in our body, if we are at low frequency. So we can get quite confused with the information and the messages. This is where they hop on like a train track. It's quite hard to explain. It's all to do with frequency, but my message, my guide, is about healing and forgiveness is a big one. So once I worked on my healing, now I was abused from the age of 6 to 11, and I had it traumatized. I had amnesia to the age of 35 because I wasn't in a safe place till then to express it to myself. This is how I know what's going on now, is amnesia of the human race, because I see the same behavior as myself, and all there's this avoidance of my own truth, like this. you kidding? Like, who the fuck am I if I couldn't even tell myself that? So my whole life was a lie to me because of myself. And then I had to deal with the trauma. But this is a little bit like what's going to happen with the human race. Although there is light at the end of the tunnel, so I am giving this hope and light because Earth is returning to be the beautiful planet that she deserves to be. And we deserve to come here. And we have chosen to come here for this time to help this healing moment and to experience true emotional, spiritual energy in a physical form and to manifest. So this is beautiful, but we have a few years. So that's my message. And forgiveness, there's a lot of anger because when you learn that we've been robbed of our identity and manipulation and the lies, there's a lot of anger. But let me tell you now, the anger just poisons the body. And this is the goal of what they're trying to do. So is to rise above it and just heal and heal and heal and try and understand that this all has a purpose. It all has a purpose, and all we need to all focus on is our own personal trauma in this life, and that will guide us. So connecting to our inner child, connecting to our messages. The isolation at times is I still isolate myself, but we need to isolate when it's correct for us, by not of the control. And this is freedom, free will and freedom. We all need our wings back. Listen to your dreams. There's a lot of people having dreams, sleepless nights, sweats. And also, I wanted to mention that menopause is a big issue at the moment. But this is all to do with the liver. Many of these symptoms of detoxing, of COVID, copy detoxing. So if I treat someone with a detox, they'll come out with the same symptoms of COVID. Right? But I wouldn't treat them by putting a mask on them. I treat and heal them. The information is that and the menopause also the same symptoms of awakening symptoms. And the menopause that comes from the main organ is the liver, is the organ that controls the blood flow in the body around the circulating around. But remember, the liver is full, especially in the female body. All right, so the earth is the female body, so all females now. So we've got people having a menopause from the age of 30s now. Clean the filter. I do Cambo medicine, which is purging. It's very tough, but it is enlightening. And it means that I have no fear of any virus anymore. And I pick things up, but I know how to clear it, so I'm not, the fear is gone, and I was in much fear, believe you me, much fear. So I thought I was going mad. And I was very ill. I had a condition, autoimmune condition, where my body was blistering. Okay, so I had to heal. And I thought I was going to die of cancer and things. But then I had my death experience and realised I couldn't, so come back down and do some healing. So, yeah, I hope that helps. I just want this to help anybody this can help, and I will try and do videos of what mental health is on the rise, because my opinion of mental health is also awakening. Psychosis is awakening. If you're hearing voices, it's because you can hear voices. You just need to be careful. If you're hearing voices of entity or virus, they want to die because they have no soul or no nucleus, so they attach to us. So this is what you're hearing, the vibration of the COVID cells. And this is the feeling. So when I have a spiritual attack now, which I can still have, I often, and I get it quite deep because my trauma is deep, so my nervous system is bare. So say if I'm, anyway, so if I have a spiritual attack, I can go down and I feel quite suicidal. And I'm like, but this is not me. This is not mine. This is not me. So I know how to do it. So I don't want to help anybody. And if anyone's having problems with abuse issues at home, this is obviously very close to my heart. And if I can save any, obviously, child issues, abuse, it's quite hard to, suicidal thoughts, anything like that, because I know this is going to be silently a struggle behind closed doors, because this is the truth. Yeah, I will doing sound healing. I don't know whether to do a little bit on this video. So also what you can do, breath work gets oxygen into the whole cell, and you ask anything that is attached onto your body to just please leave. Your cells listen to you. You can look at all these things on YouTube and the, you know, physics. Look at a cancer cell, look at a virus cell, look at how it behaves when it's healthy and not healthy, when it's had oxygen and not oxygen, etc. So it's all scientific fact. And so when you breathe, and you can talk, like you can talk to plants, or you can talk to water, and it changes molecules and it changes behavior. So this is exactly, you know, we are water and we have cells. The way we talk to ourselves does control how our body reacts. So I talk to my body all the time, and if something's not right, I'm like, is this mine? Am I picking up something else? Now, so you can all do this. You may need the strength of someone like myself that has done the healing, so it's a higher frequency, so they will listen to me more. And it's not that I'm better, it's because I've had to do more healing, and we're all going to come to this stage. But you can still do it and try it, and if it doesn't work, then obviously go and seek help. But you can do this at home. You can use things like saging, opening the windows, asking any energy that does not belong in your space just to please leave. If you feel anxiety, this is because you're feeling something that your body fears and it doesn't like. So it's either your trauma coming up. Sometimes if I have a shiver and a shake, I know there's an entity, something like this. So another thing I have studied to try and prove this, because I am a scientist, I'm a researcher, I have a medical degree, I'm looking to do my master's, but the same as all of this, I'm a single mum on my own. But I've done as much studying as masters, etc. But I also studied about the atom and the split atom. Now, this proves that there's different dimensions when observed by a different eye. So this is all part of my research as well, is to prove how we look at medicine. And think about it, guys. We need to really look at how to treat the immune system, how to treat health in a very, very different way. Do you know that medicine right now, drugs right now, the pharmaceutical, this is only 100 years old. You know, healing tools and protocols are thousands and thousands of years old. And in my research, which I hope to get out there soon, I believe that we should not even have disease. Not disease build up to how we have. We can have disease maybe build up for like 6-12 months, and then we purge and we learn, and we build up again 6-12 months. We purge like nature does. Leaves come off the tree, feeds down the earth element and comes back up again. All right, but we don't have thousands of years. And if we have this, we actually live a lot longer. We don't have as many children because we're maybe 500 years old. And so the earth can cope. Now, right now, I speak to the earth. I actually do healing on the earth. And I speak with the spirit world. And my message is that we can go outside in nature, we can do this, and we can use her. She is our mother, but it's the same thing. She is under struggle. She needs us to heal as well, because when we go out, we're just taking her energy, and so we need to find the nature within us. And to find the nature within us is the elements, and we need to heal our trauma so we can live in balance once again. So my messages are really big call, because there's no earth, there's no us anyway, you know. So this is a big call, and this is why I've set up this clinic for Cambo. So at the moment I have to charge because I have my bills to pay, but my future goal is to set up a charity and get funding for mental health and different conditions. And use that and then run it like a surgery, basically, because this information should be free to the human race. So I just wanted to let people know that, because I'm charging at the minute, which obviously I have to do. And the space I'm in is is a very healing ley line on the earth. So I also have a lot of spirit guides here, and it's very safe. It's safe from entities, parasite, bacteria. And the cats are jumping around. So, yeah. I hope that helps. I'll come back for more videos. Lots of love. Do sound vibrations. Speak to your space. Speak to your body. Or all of this. Sound, vibration, dance, sing. These things to lift your joy and happiness. It's hard at the minute because I can see there's not a lot of joy and happiness, but it will come. Hopefully it will come. Well, it will come. It's just, we won't all get through this. I know that. But the other thing is the people that pass, they still exist in spirit. I just need to say that now as well, because I speak with past souls. There's no death of the soul. And whoever's choosing to pass now is there to guide the ones that are left. Okay, so once you go to the spirit world, you can actually continually have a channel. So this is often the ones left, is a soul choice if you're not aware, and is to experience the pain of loss and grief. So it gets really extreme to a point you have no other point, and you have to go in and find a way to heal with enlightenment healing, spiritual healing, which is returning to the spirit and soul. And then the people that have passed, people that have passed are there to support us. Okay, so there's no death. And I do believe in one day that these realms will be see-through. This is how we were meant to be. And we were at some stage back beyond the trauma. And this is where we can live, free again. And this will come. And this will come. So that's my message from the universe and spirit realm, and just my message of, forgiveness as well. Forgiveness is understanding that whatever abuse or trauma or troubles or, and we've all had trauma, by the way. Even it doesn't have to be as deep as mine, but we've all had trauma. And actually sometimes when we realise we've had trauma and we didn't think we had any, that's the shock that is the trauma. Like this, you go, oh, I thought everything was okay, and it, like that. So we've all had the trauma. That's what we're trying to heal now. I've lost my train of thought totally. Anyway, never mind. Forgiveness. Yes, so understanding that whatever parents that we had or issues that we have is sometimes that, especially this narcissism behavior, manipulation, there's a lot of energy possession on a body. So if your soul is fractured, which is in all of us to a degree, say that, like that's there. So you have this space where this behavior of other entity can come in, and it messes around. And I've seen possession and stuff, and this is definitely where my abuse happened, if that makes sense. It comes through. So this is where also my research helped me find forgiveness. I had to do research because I had to find a way to clear these emotions of anger that happened to me, and they were suppressed anger because I was always a very happy person, but they was very internal. And then you find peace and understanding of your own trauma, and this is freedom. So there's a lot of peaceful protest, but there's still inside anger, and this will make you be at the same vibration as this darkness of the entity, which means then at some stage you will get a wave, a purge. We're all just at a different stage. We're all going to have the corona, so to speak. The people that have it first just have deeper trauma in this life or past life. So I think that's all. Just keep asking if there's anything else to come through. I do these sounds, got to do sound vibration just to help healing different areas of the body, and I can pick things up. So I often just to connect. Yom helps us open up third eye, connect to Father energy, truth, and the earth, our soul energy. Which is all physics, frequency, medicine, truth. Pattern of 369. So I've studied a lot of that about triangles and circles and things like that, physics and maths. So I'm trying to get my research out so we can prove that medicine and spirituality comes together at a point. And then we'll have the truth of medicine coming back to heal. That's my goal. I think I'll leave it there. Just checking if there's any other message to come through. So yeah, just send this out to anybody who is struggling, because I know there's a lot of people struggling. I mean, we all have these waves, okay? And also one more thing is these waves are never continuous state. So if you're depressed that moment, it's my cat, sorry. One thing that got me through very dark times was knowing that I can just ride it through. And that was the blessing of my acupuncture degree and understanding frequency, that you can understand, okay, today I'm having a panic attack. Today I feel fear. Today I feel anxiety. I can't get out of the house, etc., etc. But I knew, okay, I just sleep and I get through it. And tomorrow's another day. And I understand that the ways of frequency, you know, if something stays, there's death. And I learned this in my acupuncture degree. So that kept me going. So if you have bipolar, doesn't mean that you're going to have it next day. I mean, you might have bipolar one day and then have depression the next day and then anxiety, split personalities, all a bit like that. Because I mean, Mother Earth's like that right now. She's healing. So look at the weather. It's bipolar. We're all mentally having, mental health is, I hate that label. It's just another label. Don't worry about it. We're all going a bit crazy. And if you're not, then that's when something's wrong with you. Okay. I don't mean wrong, because there's no wrong or right. But you understand what my point is. I think we're just afraid to talk about how unsettled we feel. But this is the darkness that needs to come out, the spoken truth that needs to come out, that we feel crap, we feel shit, especially mothers, we feel a bit like, I feel like a crap single mother. I don't feel good enough. I'm not good enough. This is something that's been passed down for centuries and centuries. So we just express it. We need to express it to heal, because it doesn't need to be you forever. And also we're just not used to this change. So change can be very painful. My cat's running over. Can be painful because we have to say goodbye to a layer of ourselves, and we become something that feels very new. And this is like, a bit scary. And I'm continually doing this still myself. This is the journey. But you understand, when you're aware and you trust and you have faith and you're connected to source, up and down, yin and yang, father, mother, then you can live day by day and understand, to feel and understand the truth, and understand you don't have to succumb to these controlling rules, because I have faith of medicine and illness and everything now, and everyone deserves this knowledge. So I shall just check in again and see if there's any other information. Check on my teeth. Okay, that's it for now. So just sending out a lot of love and healing to everybody at this present time. Okay, lots of love. Lots of love, everybody. And I'll speak soon.